Hi, everyone. Laura Wayman, the Dementia Whisperer here. Do you, as a caregiver, ever feel guilt? It's pretty common to have feelings of guilt on a dementia care journey. So today, I want to share some tips for managing the guilt that often accompanies caregiving. Yes, feelings of guilt are common among dementia caregivers. Caring for someone with any cause of dementia symptoms, including Alzheimer's disease, means that you are doing a very tough job and one that comes with complex emotions, both positive and negative. And oftentimes, these negative emotions manifest as guilt. Guilt all by itself is a very powerful emotion that drains your energy, causes great stress, and can make you feel stuck. While it can sneak in subtly here and there over time, guilt can lead to long-term mental health implications such as depression that negatively impact your ability to effectively provide appropriate care. So, let's talk about some of the common ways guilt shows up in us as caregivers in our lives. We might feel guilty when we're having fun. We might feel guilty when we leave the house and have to leave our loved one there. Or we might feel guilty that you can't accomplish it all in one day, and you can't. So it's important to remember that the things that make you feel guilty are often simply misconceptions or unrealistic expectations of yourself. And while these feelings can lead you to believe that you are failing, the opposite is true. Caregivers, you, the caregiver, you are a true hero. So let me talk about 5 common misconceptions surrounding guilt and some ways that you can combat them. You might feel other caregivers are doing a better job. You might feel guilty because you have unrealistic expectations for yourself based on what you see and hear from other caregivers. And the truth is that you only know about a small part of their lives, and it's not realistic to compare your situation with theirs. It's very likely that they're experiencing the same struggles as you and probably feel guilty when they're looking at the successes that you have. Set yourself up for success and focus on your own life by setting achievable goals, and be sure and take time for yourself. Maybe you treated your loved one or the person you're caring for poorly before they were diagnosed. It's tempting to look back and regret your feelings of frustration or irritation surrounding someone's behavior changes before you recognize that they had dementia symptoms and the diagnosis of what was causing them. So try to remember that you were doing the best you could with little information and had no way to know the medical reasons for these behavior changes. You weren't yet dementia aware, but now that you are working on that to become dementia aware, you can change things going forward. You may have negative feelings about your older adult, the person you're caring for. Just because you care very much about the older adult you're caring for doesn't mean you won't have moments when you don't like them very much. Perhaps you have moments of guilt because you feel that you're caring for them out of an obligation to do so. Or maybe you feel guilty when you get embarrassed by something that they've done. Just step back and remind yourself that everyone has feelings like this. And at some time, instead of trying to control these thoughts, just accept them, work through them, and share your feelings with a trusted confidant, or write them down in a private journal or in a caregiver support group. Many of them are feeling these same kinds of things. Maybe you get angry, irritated, you lose your temper. At one point or another, every caregiver has lost their temper and they become frustrated or exhausted. So after you cool down from an outburst, it can be hard to forgive yourself. Try to remember that getting angry is a natural response when you're pushed to the limit, and dementia symptoms are flaring up. They're unrelenting. Instead of beating yourself up about it, start to recognize the signs that you need a break before the next outburst happens, and then develop some strategies to prevent that from happening. For example, if you know that dinner time is very difficult for you, take a few minutes to do an activity that relieves stress beforehand and make dinner time as simple as possible. Ease up on the responsibility. You feel guilty because you want time for yourself. You believe that anything you should be doing should be essential activities only, and you shouldn't be able to enjoy your life if the person you're caring for can't. But in reality, it's important that you take time to recharge your batteries so you can effectively care for them with energy and positivity and love. Taking care of yourself with regular breaks isn't anything to feel guilty about. It's essential. For more strategies and tips for taking a loving approach to caregiving, read my book, A Loving Approach to Dementia Care, published by Johns Hopkins University, now in its 2nd edition and soon to be in its 3rd edition. And be sure and check out my website for lots of resources and videos and strategies and helpful trainings at laurawayman.com. Signing off for now, with love, the Dementia Whisperer.